Morning guys, welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project, self-therapeutic multimedia project for me to solve the problems, challenges, obstacles of my life, as well as a self-improvement process to reach the heights, goals, and ambitions that I've set for myself and those around me. And so this is the first of two live streams, 15 minutes each back-to-back, separated by a 15-minute gap. And there's a continuation of two sub-series of the Ahn Rho Project, one being BDMP, standing for Basic Survival, although it's a pun on words for BDSM, and then the other sub-series focuses on, I believe, aftermath. So that was after 4 months of hell. If we actually take a look around in the room right now, just to get some movement around the camera, you see here, over there, that's D1 right there. D2 is that region, D3 over here, and D4. It's just a huge mess. Even the office region over there is full of mess. So those are two major sub-series, BDMP, and also aftermath. And so in the first live stream today, we have two live streams, like I said, right? So take a look in the title, take a look on screen on the right hand side right here. I also have some photographs which I'll be showing that have some relevance. For instance, this bowl of oatmeal, and we'll get to that and on how it's related to all this mess right here. But the first live stream we're going to focus is on all this kind of junk and mess, all the clothing. As you see in the bottom right here, we also have a listing of all the kind of stuff, the topics that I may have talked about: the jacket, the clothing, how to do the laundry, body care, haircut, all that kind of stuff. And it's just a whole lot. I'm gonna be honest, it's really annoying, irritating shit that I had to get over with. But it's been almost chaining me down for the past 48 hours, maybe more, 3 days. And so we're gonna get through that. Of course, the first thing I should get to before deep diving into everything we have here today is the introduction of the Ahn Rho Project, of course, which I gave a little snippet at the beginning already, as well as the sub-series, two of the sub-series that I'm running concurrently. But the Ahn Rho Project can be broken down really into, it's a good way to summarize what it is. It's a comprehensive life management project that, again, deals with all the insecurities, all the good, the bad, and the ugly I will cover on stream. It's like a time record. That's an analogy I like to use to describe the greater Ahn Rho Project as a whole. It's a way for me to capture everything and, look back on maybe 20, 30 years down the road. But it's a lot more than that as well. So it's broken down to sub-series, domains of life, and analogies. Analogies, I just gave a good analogy right now, was the time records thing. I also like to use different analogies for different sub-series. So I had several sub-series aside from the first two I mentioned at the beginning, and that includes other ones such as 1KD, 1,000 Days Till Death, assuming that, maybe if I die in about 30 months, starting as of January 2020, that, it's really a time management perspective. Every single day is 0.1% of my lifespan, and I drop dead at the age of 30. And so how do I manage my time every single day to get as much done before I die, without regrets, live my life without regrets and stuff like that. And so that's one sub-series, and we had the one analogy to describe that. We also have many other analogies to describe other sub-series, such as the item catalog sub-series, and that would be to database everything, apply business fundamentals of shipping and receiving over and inventory management over to your personal life. And so that's the kind of stuff that we have. And of course, domains of life, so sub-series, analogies, and domains. Lastly, domains are actually the key most critical portion of the Ahn Rho Project. It's just a way of saying finance, relationships, money, and breaking those down further into, say, colleagues and friends and family and your fellow staff and previous employment. It's just breaking everything down in life into all the components and trying to manage all of it at once, from employment to, like I said, finance, work, relationships, hobbies and interests, groceries, chores, devices, blah-de-da, principles of life, and so on and so forth. So that being said, that's a very long-winded introduction to the Ahn Rho Project. Why don't we just get right to what we have to cover today? So bottom right hand side, it says mess, broken, oats, laundry, clothes, work, tool here. Okay, so there's maybe about 9 different domains of life, I guess you could say, that I kind of pulled all together right here. We have some clothing, and I'll talk about the significance behind that with respect to relationships, with respect to also to, I guess, some origins and just background, poverty and stuff like that, and being grateful and expressing gratitude. Next to that, we have this pair of scissors right here that kind of stabbed inside, and so we're going to get to that and how it's from a workplace, and it's caused me a little bit of headache. We have all this here on the floor as well. This is actually a garbage that it's not garbage yet. This is actually something that's what I call class 2 item from my gardens. Typically, I don't supposed to use stuff like this, but on the inside, there's a bunch of hair. I cut my own hair, so it's on the inside. And underneath, we have a bunch of clothing that's on the floor for a reason as well. And I just kind of spilled everything all over myself while I was making breakfast a couple of days ago, making oatmeal. So that's why I had to do cooking on the side. And all this is kind of coming together. It's all kind of just a huge mess compiled together. And on the side right in front, we have a bunch of stuff here. That's some stuff that, if you take a look at my previous live streams about a week ago, I said I want to get rid of. And there was a previous stream on decorations and a crafts box, having to do Christmas. And, you know, it's Christmas is over now, but Merry Christmas if I didn't say that to you already. And I moved that inside there, but we still have a lot of garbage. So we moved the crafts and decorations and holiday stuff and gift items from volunteering and working into the closet region C over there. And now it's just a big mess here that we're trying to get rid of. And why don't we deep dive into it? So the first thing, of course, I already mentioned this jacket in a previous live stream, but not enough detail. And so you can see there's this kind of very tattered, it's all torn up. You can see there's the holes into the fabric. I'll get a little bit closer. You can see also that there's 2 layers to it, 1, 2, and then there's a third one. So all 3 of these, I put them inside each other. The main reason I've actually had this is, this goes back maybe about a decade ago, and it touches on a lot of domestic household issues. I am keeping tabs on the time, by the way. I have about roughly 8 minutes to complete this, but it's a bit of a rush, so bear with me. Long story short, you know, there were a lot of household domestic issues stemming from 6-figure debt in my own household, and that resulted in a lot of arguments and fighting and physical and verbal attacks. And there was, you know, long story short, it was not a healthy family. I'm not gonna get too much into it because it's a bit negative, but the point is, you know, after, you know, I left university and I graduated, I could, you know, pursue things on my own. Even during university, I lived out of town, and you know, coming back here, I felt this immense, I guess, shame and disgrace that I had somehow reverted back to a household that, you know, had very broken family fundamentals. So overall, in the past 5 years, what I've been able to do is now I've surrounded myself with a whole bunch of people who are actually role models in my life. And so that goes for my workplace right now. I mentioned I work for a manufacturing plant that makes PPE, so protective equipment, very relevant to the pandemic, right? But we also have other things, like I volunteer for a seniors home, and a lot of my clients there, again, they're mostly seniors and their daughters and sons. One of them has become a very good, almost like external family, so family that's not blood related. And then same thing with the hospitals that I volunteer at. So overall, and then I'm also running a side business. So in terms of business and employment and volunteering, I've met so many people who I just really appreciate. And what this jacket does, back to the point is, right, this jacket here, every Christmas I would wear this to remind myself of everything that I have now that I didn't. And you can see all the tatters. Actually, I was a little bit, you can tell, mentally not really there. There were so many insecurities. I remember taking a box cutter and just cutting and tearing apart the jacket, and wow, that was a dark place. I can't even recognize myself. Yeah, so I wear this every Christmas because, you know, it reminds me of my roots and how much things have improved, and it's really a source for me to appreciate what I have and who I have in life and how things are, you know. Certainly there is still a very challenging time. I haven't escaped all the poverty or the health problems or the relationship issues, or, well, there's not even a family even, but the fact is I've been able to create my own family, find people at least who at least resemble something that is a functional lifestyle. At least it works, you know, that's all that matters. Okay, moving on to the side here. So on the bottom right here, attached to it is a pair of scissors. Now, of course, I went on Christmas. I wore this to my workplace, and they probably kind of freaked out a little bit because they saw me wear this about 3 years ago on the daily, but they expected me to probably not wear this anymore. But anyways, there's this pair of scissors inside, and it's from my workplace. I typically work in a warehouse, and this is my makeshift box cutter or utility knife when I don't have any. So I kind of forgot to leave it, forgot to bring it back to work. Actually, I had it stuck in my drop leg. I came back from work with this inside my drop leg, and then I said, oh shit, I forgot. So I stuck inside the pocket and I said, you know, I'll bring it back to work. And then it never happened because, first of all, this jacket's not supposed to be worn to work. It was only for Christmas, for one day, just for me to remind to remind myself once again of how things have improved. And you know, the good, bad, and ugly. I cover everything on stream, right? That's the whole point. Expose myself to public scrutiny, and that's the best selective pressure to improve yourself is when you're criticized by millions of people. And if you can somehow triumph over that, then that's great. Now, anyways, so that's the scissors, work, tools. That's why you see that in the bottom right-hand side right here, work and tools, and the jacket, and what it's all about. So now let's move on to the side here and cover this mess. So I think what I want to do first is talk about that underneath. So there's a belt, there's my lab coat from back in university, and I'm in biomedical science, so that's not in anymore. I graduated already with my degree. So this is my lab coat. That's a dress pants, and there's some underwear here. I probably shouldn't be touching this. Long story short, I was making oatmeal on that same day. I mean, maybe a couple of days after Merry Christmas, and I just spilled a whole bunch of oatmeal, and the bowl broke, and it spilled all over my stuff, and it caused a real headache for me because I'm actually working on this project means that I usually can't buy anything that I'm trying to be minimalist. Basically, I don't really have, I had to find a way to use a new bowl, and then on top of that, now I have all this kind of stuff here that for that first cleanup session, I was downstairs in the kitchen trying to clean everything up. It wasted my first hour, and I wasn't able to push out a live stream because of that, which is what you'll find actually on my Twitter or Facebook or where did I post? I think it was just Facebook. I'm not a big fan of Twitter, I'll be honest. People don't really take much responsibility for their actions when they're on that platform. But what can you expect? It's like 150 words, so people tend to be very instant. You know, they don't have any nuance to their thoughts, and I guess I can sort of understand that. Needless to say, that's a mess here that I got to clean up. That has to do with cooking, mess, laundry, and that's something that I need to get out of the way today because I wanted to do the laundry today, actually 2 days ago, and I just couldn't get this live stream out, and so that was very difficult. But at least having covered it right now, tomorrow morning I can get rid of it. Next to it, on top of that, was all this paper. So what's this? Class 2 items I said belong to my guardians. Typically, I don't use this kind of stuff. Obviously, there's a lot of insecurities, and these are my issues and my responsibility that I'm supposed to manage in my life. I'm supposed to make sure that, you know, if I'm not comfortable using something, then I better not use it. And that's just my fault that I do, on occasion, use something like this. Even though right now, obviously, I'm paying my own rent. I have everything pretty much is my own hard-earned money and that kind of stuff, my own hard-earned effort. But once in a while I find myself using stuff like this, and it just opens a whole bag of emotional baggage. But I did have to use it. I used it because I was just cutting my hair, so I cut my own hair, and if that's not a red flag that there's some issues here, well, I mean, you can cut your own hair. That's not really a bad thing, actually. I think that's pretty cool. I like to have my own haircut, and I'm the only one who can do that, because especially if you cut your own hair, you can have your own. You need a lot of practice. It took me almost 3 to 4 years before I could manage to get the hairstyle that I wanted. But that's that. And then down here we have this Chinese newspaper, all this kind of stuff. And I won't open on the inside, but basically if I did, I think I would find a whole bunch of hair. Yeah, there's all the hair and a disgusting nail clipping. So it's all just disgusting. It's overall unsanitary. Again, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'll cover everything. I'm pretty sure 10 years down the road, I'll look on this and I'll be like, what the fuck happened? And, you know, it's just, it is what it is. So, I mean, this is the before and after comparison, and this is the before snapshot, right? All right, to the side, we have some garbage here. Last but not least, have I covered everything? Kitchenware, right? The mess, I had to buy a new bowl, that kind of stuff. Newspaper, yeah, good. Last thing here, we have this garbage. Originally, I used this was like a business package wrapping. I have a side business, like I said, in scientific research and cellular nutrition, but the stuff here is just some wrapping. I thought I was going to use it to, you know, take care of all the hair that I was cutting off. But we also have, and we didn't use it, so it's just garbage now. And so I'm going to take that out to work and throw it away. And then we have finally this box here, which, like I said, is a gift item from one of my volunteering colleagues. And she's already gone. She's left the seniors home already, at least a couple of years ago. So I'm going to put this there. And that's it. So the next live stream, we're going to be covering the next bunch of mess right here. Food business material story. So this is Ahn Rho Project. See you in about 5 to 10 minutes. Yeah, real soon.